I dare you to install English in your brain like an operating system on your PC. I have been learning English since 2003 and have been teaching English since 2018. Here are 10 tips that helped me over the years. Starting now, you can also speak English like a native speaker. Are you ready? Stand by. Tip number 3, exercise your ears and mouth to speak perfect English. We mentioned before that it is possible to create a mini English environment, and this is done through shadow reading, but there's actually more to it. Improvements in our speaking skills is partially made through listening, because you have to be able to tell the differences in the pronunciation in order to imitate them. Take a listen to this. Zach wants to record a different type of record. Zach wants to record a different type of record. Zach wants to record a different type of record. Zach wants to record a different type of record. Can you tell the differences? Because these are some of the key differences in English between other languages. Stress, listen, and rhythm. In this video, I'll tell you more about the guidelines of these 3 different elements. And as you practice shadow reading, be sure to look out for them so that your imitation could be more accurate. Number 1, stress in words. English words are always stressed on the vowel sounds. Generally speaking, there are 20 vowel sounds in English, and I have put them in my description below. Depending on the types of words, there are a few different general guidelines in terms of stress. For starters, stress in nouns, adjectives, and adverbs are often the starting vowels in the words. For example, language, awkward, maybe. Next, stress in verbs and propositions are often the ending vowel sounds. For example, announce, among. If a word can be used as different parts of speech, apply the same rules accordingly. For example, record is being used as the noun, and record is being used as a verb. Therefore, they're stressed on different vowel sounds. Next rule in terms of stress, nouns, verbs, and adjectives that end in patterns, for them, the stress is usually the vowel sound before the ending of the word. For example, comprehension, geography, agency, electricity, ideology, atomic, economical, technological, intentional. Last but not least, for compound nouns, which means nouns that are made from multiple nouns, stress the first vowel sounds as you would in the first noun. For example, bookshop, airport, sunglasses. Number 2, elision. In simple terms, this rule tells us when to not pronounce a sound in a word. Take the word different. It actually has 3 different vowel sounds. If we pronounce all of them, it will sound like different. However, a more natural way to pronounce this word is different. The first E is actually not pronounced. And in English, there are many words just like this. For example, camera, chocolate, mathematics. Consonants can also be omitted. For example, debt instead of debt, no instead of no. This laziness is precisely what makes it uncomfortable for us who are used to articulating so much. Once you can distinguish the subtle differences, a few attempts at imitation can make you just as lazy. Number 3, rhythm in an English sentence. While every word has its own stressed syllable, they sometimes are weakened to give sentences a rhythm. I've drawn my inspiration from another brilliant teacher, 英语兔. His content has got a lot of heart. Highly recommended. Here, I'm just gonna share with you guys some of the key takeaways. The rhythm of English sentences is determined by the number of stressed syllables, while the rhythm of Chinese sentences is determined by the total number of syllables. When reading an English sentence, the syllables in the content words need to be stressed, while function words such as in, and, or the are usually pronounced in their weak forms. Weak does not mean reading softly. It is actually about reducing the vowel sounds. For example, would is oftentimes reduced to would, and some is often reduced to some. The alternation of the stressed and weakened forms of the words determines the rhythm of an English sentence. This is why we sometimes struggle to understand spoken English or to sound natural when speaking. It is, after all, a different language. This also explains why sometimes English sentences may look very long but are read very quickly. In contrast, every syllable in Chinese is pronounced with stress. This means the rhythm in a Chinese sentence depends on the total number of syllables. There you have it. 3 main guidelines to train your ears. Understanding these guidelines is to understand the importance of shadow reading and imitation. By consistently imitating native speakers, we can gradually adapt to the natural rhythm and pronunciation in English. It really is an organic way of learning a language, a way in which we learn our first language as children, imitating those around us and using our innate ability to acquire a language. At first, your ears may feel a bit rusty and your mouth may feel a bit dry, but eventually your ears will get used to the new sounds and your mouth muscles will become so strong and agile. Pronunciation isn't a skill, it's a set of memory, it's a muscle memory. Master it, and it will stick with you for your life. Did you get it? Let me know in the comments. Peace.